My goal with working out is to put on as much muscle as I possibly can, and I've been doing this for over 5 years, so I've tried a lot of things. Right now, I'm messing with tempo. So, right now, it would be considered a 0 or 1 to 4, then a 3, then another 1. So it'd be a 1, 4, 1, 3. Either way, that basically just means that at the top of the contraction, I'm holding for about 0 seconds, as short as I possibly can, going straight into the eccentric for about 3 to 4 seconds, and at the bottom, I'm holding for about 3 to 4 seconds. Oh, so never mind. I think my numbers were off. I think I said them in the wrong order. But and then after the hold, I try to explode as fast as I can back to the top, which I don't hold at the top like I mentioned, straight back into another eccentric, and it seriously burns, and that's what I would consider a perfect set if every single rep looks exactly like that. And based on the studies and what I know so far, it gives the best growth stimulus for muscle. So, because my goal is to put on as much muscle as possible, it makes the most sense to train this way, or at least for me it does. And so I'm experimenting with it, see if I like it. And I think because I play soccer in the summers, and I don't really play on any like super competitive teams, so I do want to be good because I used to be good in high school. But I think I'm going to switch my leg training to a power style leg training. So they're going to be explosive, they're going to be heavier weight, and kind of higher rep, but not necessarily. Because the higher rep I would do it, the more it would lend to building endurance. And the heavier I go with lighter weights would lend towards strength. And I want more power, more explosive power for athleticism in soccer. So I'm thinking I go a little bit lighter so I can get about 10 to 15, maybe even 20 reps. Still hit failure at the end of the set, but do it explosively. So every rep is explosive out of the bottom, no pausing at the bottom. For example, on a squat, you get all the way to the bottom, you go straight up, and then you just do it again and again. And also currently I'm on a cut, so I'm on 1,700 calories. I've been tracking with an app that uses a barcode scanner to track the macros. It also tracks all the vitamins and stuff, but I'm not so interested in that. Mainly just tracking calories and protein count. But so I hadn't really been tracking calories before then, so I don't really know how many calories I was consuming on a daily basis, mostly because it was a pain in the ass to do, but also because most of my meals for dinner are recipes that don't have calorie counts. So I would have to like go through every ingredient, mark it down, track it, and then kind of estimate how much is in a serving. And that was honestly a pain in the ass, so I just never did it. And so until I started the cut, I hadn't really been tracking calories, but now I have, and I've been at 1,700, which I don't feel an energy drain from the calories, but I do feel hungry. And that's something that I wouldn't have thought about before, because I would eat whenever I felt hungry or, bored. So I never really felt hungry, but now I feel hungry like half the time I'm awake. For about an hour after I eat, I feel fine. My workouts feel fine. My breakfast is pretty much the same, and I work out right after breakfast. I just have to walk down the stairs and lift some weights. But I think I've been going 3 or 4 weeks right now since I began the cut, and it's been going all right. I wish I bought my own food instead of my parents buying it, because then I would have more control over what I could eat, and I think I would feel less hungry because I could make better foods for the calories. But it is what it is, and right now, as the screen shows, I'm cleaning this car because it's a rental car. We have, my dad and I are, I'm his co-host, or I'm partnered with him in this little business venture, and we have 5 cars that we're renting out on Turo. And so, but when the cars come back between rentals, and before they go back out, I'll clean them if they're like extra dirty or dusty or crummy, and I'll also wipe it down to disinfect it, and then I just have to go through the check-in process, which means I have to get the renter's license and information, make sure that it's valid and that it's not expired, and that it's not and that it matches their photo and it looks like them. And I also take over the guest interactions. So I usually am the one that is in touch with the guest, and it's my responsibility to check them in so that they can rent the car. I also disinfect the vehicles, which you're supposed to do every rental, as well as I set up the car with a lockbox on top of the window. So you roll down the window partially, you set the lockbox on top of the window, roll it all the way up, put the key inside the box, which is facing the exterior of the vehicle, so that you can walk up to it, unlock the box, which is hanging from the window, grab the key out, unlock the car, take the lockbox off the window, and you can drive the car, which is helpful for me because then I don't have to physically be there every time a renter comes to pick up a car and rent the car for however long their trip ends up being. And that would really be a pain if I had to be at this location every single time a renter wanted to rent, because we have 5 cars going, and sometimes there's like 3 cars going out in one day. So it would really be a pain. And this process I'm doing right now is I'm uploading the photos. So Turo splits up the photos into exterior and interior photos, and it recommends about 15 photos for the exterior, which I think it's all right. It's I usually get about 15. But for the interior photos, it recommends 8, which I don't understand. I usually take about 40, so the total trip photo count is about anywhere from 50 to 100, depending on the vehicle. We rent out a truck sometimes. It doesn't rent as often as the cars, but because it's a larger vehicle, I take a lot more pictures of it, so that gets into the hundreds. And here, I've wanted to play the guitar for a long time. I never really considered buying lessons or anything, and I wanted to do it on my own. So I look up on YouTube the chords and finger picking patterns, and then I'll practice them. And that's what my practice looks like. So I know the chords C, G, A minor, A, E minor, E, what else is there? D. I think that's it. I think those are the chords I know. I don't know how many that is. That's like 5 or 7, something like that. And then I've been practicing a finger picking pattern as well. And then after I'm done shooting the clips for my videos, I'll plug in the SD card into my computer, and then drag and drop the photos onto the computer, then drag it into my editing software. And I've been using DaVinci Resolve because it's free and it has a lot of capability. And then I'll just edit the video. Right now I'm doing a voiceover, which I actually haven't done in a long time, and I'm just hoping it sounds normal and not robotic, because that's usually the problem when it comes to me and recording videos and voiceovers, is they usually don't sound lifelike.